approaching the city of Bombay, the gateway to India.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first facts episode of the Ankur Savadikar show. Today, we are going to talk about our favorite city, that is the city of Mumbai, the second biggest in India, and we have all grown up to love this city. And today, I'm going to tell you what are some of the historical things that happened that shaped the city's future, and I'm going to tell you some facts about the city. We all know that Mumbai was actually an archipelago of 7 islands, that is the Isle of Bombay, Colaba, Old Women's Island, that is the Little Colaba, Mahim, Mazgaon, Worli and Parel. When the Portuguese defeated Sultan Bahadur Shah of the Gujarati Sultanate, they had to sign the Bassein Treaty, which gave them control over the Bombay parts. They came here, they burned the towns of the original Kori community, who were the original inhabitants. But in 1661, when Charles II, the King of England, married the Catherine of Braganza, Mumbai was given to him in dowry. But the Portuguese built various forts in Mumbai, like the Mahim Fort, which they built at Mahim Bay, then the Mud Fort. So, and then also the Bandra Fort, which was strategically built to overlook the Mahim Creek. Now, the fun fact about Bandra Fort is the name Castella de Aguada was supposed to be Castello de Aguada, but because of a spelling mistake, it became Castella. Luckily, the sailors and the architects called it Forte de Bandora, and that's why we came to call it Bandra Fort. This is St. Andrew's Parish School, which was founded in 1780 by Father Francis de Mello. It was the first school in Bandra. It still continues to exist as the St. Andrew's School in its original location. There's one interesting fact about Mumbai is the fort locality that we call fort today has no fort right now, but used to earlier. In 1715, the fort in screen, that is Fort George, was built by the then governor of Bombay, Charles Boone, to stop Marathas from invading Bombay. They went to the extent that in 1745 they got a ditch on the periphery of the fort, but life inside the fort was pretty dull and lifeless. The British used to signal sunset and sunrise so as to enable the workers to know, or the inhabitants of the fort, you weren't allowed to go outside after sunset. But that all changed in 1862 when, due to civic reasons, the British had the fort demolished, and now only one gate of the fort remains. That was the birth of modern day Mumbai as we know it today. Travel in Mumbai up till then was only by bullock carts and horse-drawn carriages, and people had to walk all the way. But Jamsetji Jijaboy, a Parsi industrialist, and his contemporary Jagannath Shankar Sheth got a brilliant idea to get railways to Mumbai. So they established the GIPR, the Great Indian Peninsula Railways. They're the only two Indians on the board, consisting of 10 people. And on the 16th of April 1853, the first train ran between Boribandar and Thane, which is a distance of 33.8 kilometers. And it took 57 minutes, 14 coaches, 400 passengers, and up until then there was no train travel. Today Boribandar doesn't exist because we know it now as CST, though the building came later. It was called Boribandar because of the insane amount of Bori trees in the vicinity. The GIPR was also responsible for the first Mumbai-Pune train, which was only because of the Bhorghat extension which was built by them. The train you see on the screen right now is actually Deccan Queen, a very famous and established train, intercity Mumbai-Pune train. The Bhorghat extension that I mentioned earlier was only possible because of the first female British rail contractor, that is Alice Treadwell. She is also a great photographer, who got the Bhorghat extension completed in 1863. This Bhorghat opened a Pandora's box of travels between Bombay and the southern states like Mysore and Hyderabad. This Bhorghat extension is still in use today and has been vital throughout history of railways. Just like the GIPR, many companies were established in India to undertake the activities of the railway. One such company was the BBNCI, Bombay, Baroda and Central Indian Railways. The headquarters, which you see in the picture right now, was in Bombay. They were actually the competitors of GIPR. They had many successful trains, like the most famous being the first air conditioned train in India, which travelled right from Baladpur Mole station in Bombay to Peshawar in Northwest Frontier Province, the Frontier Mail. It took 48 hours to travel this 2300 kilometer journey. It was the fastest train that time at 50 kilometers per hour. Right now you see it leaving the Baladpur station. Baladpur was a station owned by the Mumbai Port Trust, where all European streamliners used to come. You'll now see a video of the Frontier Mail at Rawalpindi commencing its journey towards the ultimate stop, that is Peshawar, at the frontier of India in Afghanistan. This is the Churni Road station in Mumbai, and it was named so because there were a lot of grazing grounds around this place in the 1800s. In 1838, due to cattle grazing, the British implemented a grazing fee which the poor farmers and the cattle rearers had to pay. So to free them from that, Jamsetji Jijabai bought the train whole area for 20,000 rupees at that time. And when the railway started in India, that was the railway from Back Bay to Virar in 1867, they named this place, the station near the grazing lands, as Churni. But up until the railways, the local trains started in Mumbai, another aspect of travel in Mumbai were the trams. In 1865, it was proposed that we should have horse-drawn trams. No heed was paid to that, but finally, on the 9th of May 1874, we finally got the horse-drawn trams. They initially had a stable of 900 horses. The ticket was 3 annas, that was 15 paisas, and they travelled between Kalaba, Paidhoni, Boribandar and Kalba Devi. In 1920s, due to rising demands, we introduced double-decker trams. 31st March 1964, the day this video was taken, was the last time the trams ran in Mumbai. The painting you see right now is actually of Malabar Hill. It used to be a forest containing hyenas, jackals and wolves. There were also famous sightings of these jackals at Bombay High Court. But then it became an affluent locality because of this person, a governor of Bombay, Mount Stuart Elphinstone, in whose honor we have the Elphinstone College. He built his house at Malabar Hill, and soon many prominent personalities of that time followed his pursuit. Behind this house came to be what now is the Hanging Gardens, a beautiful, huge garden, which when seen from an aerial perspective, you'll see the alphabets PMG created by the sidewalks or crosswalks inside the garden. That's because the original name of the garden is Firoz Shah Mehta Gardens, named after the famous Indian lawyer, knighted also Sir Firoz Shah Mehta, who was also instrumental in founding the Indian National Congress. Just like her philanthropist husband, Avabai Jamsetji Jijabai also donated 1,57,000 in 1841, which was a princely amount back then, to get a causeway built connecting the island of Salsette and the island of Mahim. The construction completed in 1846, and today we know that road as Lady Jamshedji Road, which is one of the busiest roads in Mumbai. She paid an extra amount so that the Koi community would not be troubled for the taxes of and tolls of that road by the British. It's ironic that Mumbaikars then went on to build the Rajiv Gandhi Bandra Worli Sea Link, which does the same work of connecting two islands, which charges a princely toll of 70 rupees in today's day. Like the original 7 islands of Mumbai, several islands lie in the Mumbai harbour, like the Elephanta Island, which is famous for the Elephanta caves. This island has got a very rich history from Buddhist era, but I'll tell you how it got its name, Elephanta. So on the southern shore used to stand this magnificent stone sculpture of an elephant, which the stupid Britishers in 1864 tried to take to England to put outside Buckingham Palace. It broke and they then rebuilt it and put it outside Bhaudaji Lal Museum in Jijamata Udyan. Then there is the Oyster Rock, which is a heavily fortified island owned by the Indian Navy. The Cross Island, which acts as an oil refinery and a distillery. Then is the Middle Ground Artillery Battery, which used to be owned by the Britishers as an antique artillery fortress, but now belongs to the Indian Navy. So ladies and gentlemen, these were some amazing facts of Mumbai that I wanted to share with all of you. I hope you liked this video. Take care of yourself and everybody around you. That's all from me for this week. Take care and lots of love. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to. It's me, Ankur Savadikar, signing out. Bye bye.
Journey ends. We bid farewell to Bombay, the gateway to India.